Okay, so let's start. Thank you so much for joining and giving us your time to attend this webinar. My name is Ralph Derrick Brown, and I'm the current product manager for ZKTeco here at MiRO. I also look after all the other security brands, including UniView and Ring, and a couple of other wireless brands as well. Once again, thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a nice and short and hopefully informative webinar for you guys. And please, if you do have any questions, just pop it into the question box. And if you are struggling with sound, it is raining quite heavily over here. If you are struggling, please just inform me so I can just go back a slide or just repeat what I said in the webinar. So thank you so much. So let's get started. Okay, so the agenda for today is we're going to just, before we get into the ZKTeco webinar, we're going to just look at a quick intro of our company. Maybe there's a couple of other solutions that you can make use of within our portfolio. Then we're going to go into the ZKTeco portfolio, and we're going to start off with about ZKTeco. I'm going to tell you a bit more about the company and how big they are worldwide. And then also I'm going to mention all the ZKTeco applications that we are currently covering, as well as the ZKTeco product line and solutions. And then we're also going to look at the ZKTeco softwares that is available to use with all these products. And then lastly, we're going to look at why you should choose ZKTeco to be your trusted access control, time and attendance / entrance control partner. Okay, so let's start. So just quickly on our company. So we are called MiRO Distribution, and we are a member of the ZKTeco group. And our vision is to help you empower you to connect communities. So a bit about us. So in regards to industry knowledge, we currently have 18 years of knowledge, and the reason why we basically brag about this pointer is because we really want to show you that we really know what works within the South African as well as the entire African industry. We know what brands works, we know what solution works, we know what the market wants, and that is all due to experience. As I mentioned, we are a part of a much bigger group called the ZKTeco group, and we do have a BEE level of 4. We currently sell to over 35 countries worldwide, and we've got 5 branches, one in Cape Town, Durban, Nelspruit. Our main branch is in Samrand, Gauteng. And then we also have a distribution center in Gauteng just to keep large stock quantities on for projects and day-to-day sales. And then we also have one branch in Kenya, Nairobi, just to expand our exporting countries and our sales throughout the entire African continent. And then we've got over 170 staff members working for us. And then a very interesting fact is we have over 2,500 items on our catalog. And as you can imagine, we are a very innovative company. We try to obviously increase this number tremendously, and it does every week, every month, every year. We bring on all the latest and greatest brands and products. 95% of our orders get shipped that very same day. And another interesting fact is every 12 seconds, we ship one new product to a client. And then in 2020, we shipped over 640,000 products, just to show you how big we are as a company and how we support our clients. So why should you choose MiRO? So first of all, we have tailor-made solutions. We have a team of experts that will help you create the perfect solution for your application. They'll help you with the planning of the initial product up until the choosing of the correct products for that specific application. And they'll quote you until you are happy with that solution. We've also got a team of experts that can help you compile technical solutions as well. Okay, and then secondly, we have a complete solution. So MiRO has a very diverse portfolio of technologies, starting with the Wi-Fi portfolio, which is your routers, your access points, our broadband portfolio, which is your wireless point-to-point and point-to-multipoint radios. We've got mobile portfolio to keep you connected on the road, an LTE portfolio as well to keep you connected wherever you are. We've got the entire infrastructure portfolio and the vision to help you we try to give you everything that you would need in order to complete that entire application, to give you the full solution. We like to think of ourselves as a one-stop distribution shop. You come to us and we supply you with every little thing that you need, from a mast up until a bracket to the cables, up until the connectors. We also have a very big VoIP portfolio, voice over IP, and then also a security portfolio, which ZKTeco falls under. We also support enterprise CCTV brands, as well as wireless and Wi-Fi connected surveillance systems for your home. We also have a very big networking portfolio, from the smallest 4-port PoE switch up until very high-end PoE switches and networking switches. Then we also have a fiber portfolio, everything from the fiber router, switch, the ONUs, except for the fiber cable itself. And then we also have a very up-and-coming IoT portfolio as well. In regard to support, we have a reputation and market edge is built around strong technical support and outstanding customer service. With us, you're dealing with a team that is fully trained on all the technologies within our portfolio in order to ensure that we give you professional advice when planning your specific application and solution. Effective after-sales services. We don't try and sell you just a product. We try and sell you a service as well, not sell. It is a free service that you can use from us, and in order to help you from the beginning, first start up until the very end. And then lastly, we try and give you the best products for your needs. We now offer on-site technical support. So for more information on that, you can contact support@miro.co.za. Then in regards to legal compliances, this is where the product managers comes in. MiRO is a market leader in South Africa when it comes to type approvals on our equipment. And the reason for this is we always provide our clients with legal products. And then in regards to financing, we do have a hardware financing option. This will just help you pass that financing on to the end user. And then we have run rate terms account as well for your month-to-month purchases. And obviously that ranges from 7 to 30 days. And then lastly, we've got our training department. So in our training department, we've got a very diverse portfolio, from certified training up until introductory level courses, to get your company's knowledge up and running and hit the ground running when entering a certain market. We have online classes as well currently due to the situation. So you can go and visit our brand new training platform called MiRO Academy. That's where you're going to find all the free sales trainings, certified trainings, and obviously webinars that is coming up. And more content will be loaded every week, every month, and so on and so forth. If you have any training queries, please feel free to mail them at training@miro.co.za. I'll also include my mail in here as well. If you have any questions afterwards and you do want to mail me, please, you're more than welcome. Okay, and then in regards to, if you want to follow us on social media, we've got a bunch of different platforms that we are using. We are currently on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and we've got a very cool YouTube page that you can follow as well. On our LinkedIn, we obviously try, and on all our social media platforms, we try and market the best solutions, the best promos as possible in order to keep you in the know. Okay, awesome. And obviously, we have got a brand new website, the www.miro.co.za. So if you want to go check it out, you're more than welcome. It's a very cool and interactive website that we currently have. Okay, and that is that for the introduction of our company. Let's start with the ZKTeco webinar. Let's start with about ZKTeco. So why is ZKTeco so popular within the South African market? And the reason why, and this is probably the most important reason, is they have local presence. Now, with local presence, meaning they've got local support, local training, which we will get into later on in this webinar, and local stock. So basically meaning ETAs is going to be fast and effective. Repairs are going to be fast and effective, and overall support is going to be fast and effective. We've got ZKTeco technicians working at MiRO as well. So for extra support, we've got ZKTeco behind us to help us complete a technical query. And then obviously they've got a wide variety of different high quality products, from time and attendance to access control up until entrance control applications. So really, this is not just a small little access control brand. There's so much more to this brand, and we'll get into that within the next few slides. They support cutting-edge technologies. We'll get into that as well. But ZK is a very innovative company. They work with the latest biometric solutions and everything. So they have to have the best cutting-edge technologies available. And they really do. It is tested, the clients love it, and the market currently loves it. Okay, and then warranties ranges up to 2 years, so it's fairly good warranties as well. And at the end, ZKTeco helps your company or your client's company to improve on their productivity levels. And if your productivity levels are growing, your client is growing, and that will most likely mean more business for you. Okay, so in regards to ZKTeco applications, please, if you guys do have any questions, please just pop it into the question box. I'll try and get to that question as soon as possible. So in regards to the ZKTeco applications, we have covered hotels and hostels for new campuses, schools and campuses, agricultural sectors, industrial sites, estates and business parks. That is growing tremendously, this sector. Homes, healthcare, company access control, and time and attendance. This is obviously the bread and butter among the entire ZKTeco portfolio. Parking lots, airports, and so on and so forth. This is just a couple of industries that we mentioned. There are so many more to cover. Okay, so let's talk about the different verification methods that ZKTeco has to offer. So the first one is your reliable fingerprint recognition. This has been there for quite some time, quite a few years, the fingerprint recognition. It is reliable. It has different, we have different models that can take thousands and thousands of fingerprints, but we'll get into that later on as well. Then the second verification method is the very, very popular facial recognition feature verification method that they have. We have tested the facial recognition. Our clients have tested the facial recognition, and it's really the next big thing. The recognition speed on ZKTeco's new products are extremely impressive. But we'll get into the facial recognition and everything in a few seconds. Well, in the next few slides. Then they've got the trusted code recognition, code verification method. We've got RFID and MiFare. So MiFare recognition is more for your hotels. And then we've got palm recognition as well, which is a brand new technology that ZKTeco released, a biometric technology within their product range, and it works very well. This and the facial recognition works extremely well. As you can imagine, the industry, the demand for no-touch access control solutions has grown tremendously, especially in the last year and a half with the entire pandemic. Nobody wants to touch things anymore, so we have awesome facial recognition solutions and palm recognition. Okay, so let's look at the ZKTeco product line. We're going to start off with the access control section. And within the access control section, we're going to start off with a standalone solution. So there is a standalone solution and a controller solution. So we're going to do both in order to give you a good idea of what a standalone solution is. So a standalone solution is a one-door only solution. You've got your standalone device and a slave reader on the other side. You have to pair it with a slave reader. You can't pair it with another standalone terminal, which is that one, for example, because they will try to overwrite each other. You have to pair it with a dumb device, a device that only takes in instructions and follows it. This solution works pretty good when you've got multiple doors and they're relatively far from each other. Now, in distance, I mean around about 50 to 100 meters away from each other. You don't want a controller that controls two doors that's 200 meters or 100 meters apart, because that could cause a delay in your recognition speed. So if you've got a company and you've got a lot of employees and there's a delay in the recognition speed, you're going to have a problem. It is going to definitely decrease your productivity. So that's why a standalone solution is very important. And it's also nice to have, because not all companies have more than one door that they want to have access control. So in regards to the software, we're going to get into the software later in this webinar. There is the free software, which works with the F-Series and the normal in-bio controller. And then you get the web-based software, which is biosecurity. That works with the visible light, the facial recognition devices, and the green label devices. We'll get into that later on. It's going to make more sense later on in this presentation. But just to quickly recap, you've got your standalone device here. This standalone device is then connected to your sensor, to your mag lock, and then obviously connected to your slave reader. This is a no-touch exit button, which is a slave reader, and this goes on the inside, okay? And then obviously there is a couple of other alarms that you can add. You can add an alarm or a siren, and that is all connected to your server. Okay, and that is that. That is how easy a standalone access control solution is. So let's look at the next solution, which is the controller solution. As you can see, we've got a 1-door, 2-door, and a 4-door controller. So depending on what kind of solution you want, we do have we do have a product to help you with that specific application. Let's say you've got 8 doors, right? Then you just add or buy a 460 controller. So a 460 is a 4-door controller, meaning it can handle up to 8 doors in total. Okay, so let's quickly look at this specific scenario. So this client has 4 doors that he wants to cover with access control. So with a controller, you can only pair a slave unit with it. You can't add a standalone solution, a standalone terminal to a controller. Reason why is, once again, they are both two master devices that are going to try and overwrite each other. So if you've got a standalone terminal here, it's going to try and send instruction back to the controller, and the controller will do the same back. And that's going to create super confusion around the entire solution. So you can only use it with slave readers that takes instructions. Okay. So how this works is, this is your first door. You add a slave reader on the outside, slave reader on the inside, and that is connected to your relay. If you want to clock in, you just add your fingerprint there, and that will send an instruction. And this controller and your system will recognize, will try and configure whether you are authorized to get into this building. If you are, it will send an instruction back to the mag lock to open the door. Same with going out. Okay, and that is then for 4 doors. As I mentioned, you do get a 2-door controller, which can only manage 2 doors, and then a 1-door controller. Okay, so the different types of softwares that you can use, we've got 2 different types of controllers. You've got a Pro controller, which can obviously handle thousands and thousands of fingerprints. And then you have your normal standard controller that can handle quite a few fingerprints as well. The normal standard controller works with the Access 3.5 free software, and the Pro controller works with your biosecurity web-based software. But we'll get into this 2 softwares later on in this presentation. Okay, this is just a quick example of a couple of standalone devices that we have. So these are quite popular in the South African market as we speak. So we have the F16 and the F17, ZKTeco F17. These are outdoor IP67 rated terminals. This is if you have an outdoor application. Okay, the one is just fingerprint and RFID, and the F17 supports a keypad as well. Okay, and then we've got the F18. This is for your indoor applications. It's exactly the same as the F17, but it is only indoor rated. Then we've got a more rugged outdoor access control solution called the MA300BT. This only supports RFID and fingerprint. And then we've got a couple of other devices as well with the green label and the visible light. The green label is your Pro Capture X. This works with your biosecurity software, and your Pro Face X standalone facial recognition terminal, which works with your biosecurity as well. This is one of the top range products in the ZKTeco portfolio. But we'll get into that in the next slide. So standalone facial recognition devices, as I mentioned, these devices became extremely popular within the South African market and within the entire world, because companies didn't want to touch any devices. They don't want the employees to touch any of the devices. So the next step was to get facial recognition solutions. So there was a problem with facial recognition solutions from numerous other brands. before that the facial recognition didn't work as well as expected. With the new SpeedFace ProFace and SpeedFace Mini series, I can honestly tell you that this is really the next big thing. It is our bread and butter. It is selling like a hot cake. It's because of the great facial recognition these devices support. To give you an example, the ProFace X supports facial recognition speeds of about 0.3 seconds. And the SpeedFace, which is the indoor device, supports about a facial recognition speed of about 0.7 seconds. So it really shows you how fast these units are. Okay, and it has deep learning technology in, so it really learns your face. So if you grow a beard, if you wear your hair differently, if you color your hair, it's still gonna pick you up. If you wear glasses, it's still gonna pick you up. So let's start with the ProFace X. This is the outdoor device. This is mostly used at estates or business parks that want to convert their boom gate system into a facial recognition, no-touch solution for their, for all the business parks, schools, and so on and so forth. These devices are IP68 rated, and they have an IK3 rating on the screen itself. So they support face and palm recognition, and it's for outdoors, as I mentioned, and you can connect this directly to your boom gate. So if a resident comes in, they scan their face, within a split second, the boom gate will open, and obviously the relay is sent to the boom gate in order to open it. So that's how that works. This is for the outdoor solutions. Then you've got this SpeedFace, the normal indoor SpeedFace solution. So it also supports face and palm recognition. It has a bit slower recognition speed. I'm talking about 0.5 seconds, 0.05 seconds slower. So it's really not much. You're not going to even recognize how much slower it is, because it's really fast, these units. And they obviously used for indoor large applications. They can take up to 2,000 facial recognition verifications on one device. And then we've got the brand new SpeedFace Mini. So this hit the market with a major bang. The reason for this is it's exactly the same as the SpeedFace, the normal SpeedFace, except for it's more used for smaller applications, but smaller applications such as it can go up to 800 faces per device and 800 palm recognitions. This also supports RFID, face, and palm, and you can actually use all these verification methods. For example, this is fingerprint, RFID, facial recognition, and palm. You can use it in combination in order to obviously create a stronger security solution. These devices also support anti-spoofing algorithms. So what that basically means is, if a client or somebody tries to open this device with a picture of you, or a video or a 3D mask or whatever, the device will recognize it and see that it is not really you, so it will not give that specific person access to the building or the estate or wherever. The nice thing about the SpeedFace Mini as well is it is extremely cost effective. So you're getting a super great facial recognition device at a fraction of the price. Okay, and it also works, all these devices works on the web-based biosecurity software. Okay, so in regards to the InBio and InBio Pro controllers, that's basically how they look. We've got the normal, remember I mentioned that you get the normal standard controllers, you get the 160, 260, and 460. So it's a 1-door, 2-door, and a 4-door controller. Same with the Pro series. Basically, the 1-door controller can handle up to 2 slaves, meaning 1 door, the 2-door controller, 4 slaves, and the 4-door controller up to until 8 slaves. It doesn't really matter what type of slave you use, but for security purposes, we normally recommend an F12, such as a fingerprint or a RFID slave reader, in order for you to know who exactly went into that building. But there's different other slave readers that you can use as well, such as a no-touch exit button, which is very popular at the moment. The only problem with a no-touch exit button is you're not going to know who went out or who came in. Again, in regards to the slave readers, these are very small devices that is used with a standalone device or a controller, as I mentioned before. And within this series, there's a couple of different slave readers that you can use in different form factors that they have. So this is just your normal RFID/fingerprint slave reader. This is your F12 RFID/fingerprint slave reader. This is probably our most popular slave reader that we have. And the reason for this is because it's the price of this device is very good, and it is outdoor rated as well. So you can use it for indoor or outdoor applications, and you can use it in conjunction with your F17, which is outdoor rated, your outdoor standalone terminal, or your in-bio controller. Remember, the in-bio controllers aren't outdoor rated. You're going to have to install them into a covered box or enclosure or wherever. Just make sure there's no rain or wind or whatever that can get to this controller. But the F12s are IP67 rated, and they can withstand harsh environments. And then you get your normal RFID/code recognition slave readers, and then your no touch slave readers. There's a couple of other slave readers as well, more to add to this slave division. And but at the end, it's just a dumb device. It takes in instructions and delivers what the standalone or the controller told them to do. Okay, that is that for the access control series. There is a lot more different products. We don't have time to cover each and every product. So the products that I did cover are more popular products within the market. Okay, so in regards to time and attendance, this is basically a very, very simple solution. As you can see, it is a standalone solution. So a time and attendance device only takes time and attendance, but some of the ZKTeco devices does support a relay. So why is a relay important? Because a relay is connected to your maglock, basically giving you best of both worlds. So it's your time and attendance, but remember, sorry, before I continue, your time and attendance device that can do basic access control features with the relay is only for basic access control. It's not going to give you all that high quality access control features such as anti-passback and so on. Okay, so basically how this works is we've got various different types of time and attendance solutions. We've got a Wi-Fi connected solution, we've got a TCP/IP solution, we've got USB solutions, and then obviously 3G solutions as well. And once again, if they support an a relay, sorry, it does support basic access control. The software that you can use on our time and attendance devices is either the ZKTimenet 3.0, which is the local time and attendance software, or the ZK BioTime 8 software, which is a web-based time and attendance software. The main difference between the two is one is local, one is web-based. You can monitor your company from anywhere in the world, or you can only monitor if there is a specific laptop allocated, which is for the TimeNet 3.0. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Please, if you do have any questions, pop it in there and I'll try to answer it as quick as possible. So these are just a couple of examples of different time and attendance solutions that we have. We've got a normal palm recognition slash fingerprint recognition solution. Please also remember, before I continue with all the different solutions, a time and attendance terminal has to have a screen. By law, you have to show your employee what time they clocked in on the device itself. So always keep that in mind when dealing with a time and attendance terminal. Okay, awesome. Then we've got a normal standard. This is quite a popular one, iClock 990, that can take a picture of the employee when they come in as well, fingerprint and RFID. This one, the S922, is more for your industrial slash agricultural sectors, as they are more robust and they can handle harsh conditions, and they are mobile. So if you've got a farm, if you've got a client with a farm or industrial site and he wants to clock in his employees every day, this is the perfect device to use. And then if you've got a small little retail shop or any shop, any small business, you can use a desktop time and attendance terminal, which is also quite popular. It's just a complete stick up and then you're good to go. What you see is what you get, fingerprint and code. And then obviously if you want time and attendance terminals, it can do more than just the basics of fingerprint, RFID, and palm. We do have our facial recognition slash fingerprint time and attendance terminals as well. Okay, so in the next product line, we're going to talk about the entrance control. So within the entrance control, we've got metal detectors, turnstiles, smart locks, hotel locks, parking barriers, and LPR systems. As I mentioned earlier, ZKTeco is not just a small access control brand. They've got a very diverse portfolio of different technologies. Okay, so within the metal detector range, we've got a 6-zone, 18-zone, 33-zone, and handheld metal detectors. So if you are interested in that, the basic difference between these three is the 6-zone only covers metal detection range from around about above your knees up until just below your head. With the 18-zone, is just below your knees till above your head, and the 33-zone is the entire range. It covers everything. Okay, then in regards to ZKTeco locks, we've got smart locks, which is completely standalone locks. In regards to the smart lock, there's no software, there's no nothing that you use. You install it like a normal lock. Some of our locks supports RFID and code. This lock, for example, supports a normal, obviously, key as well if the lock's battery died. So it does have code, RFID, fingerprint, and normal key verifications. Okay, and then also we've got a small little lock that can, just a small little pocket lock for which supports RFID as well and Bluetooth. And then in regards to hotel locks, we've got a various different types of hotel locks. This is when you have a hostel or a hotel application. And basically how these work is they've got a biosecurity hotel software and they work with MyFair cards. So in the Biometric and ZKTeco portfolio, there is MyFair cards and then you get RFID cards. So RFID just basically takes in super easy information such as your employee number, and then you're good to go. And obviously your authorization sections. With your MyFair cards, you add a bit more because these locks will not be connected directly to a server or anything. It's a complete standalone lock, and all the information will be stored onto your client's or your visitor's MyFair card. So on this card, for example, they'll add Ralph is allowed to stay in this hotel room 101, from Sunday up until Wednesday from 8 till 12. After 12 on Wednesday, you will not be allowed to get in that specific hotel room or hostel room. Okay. And then obviously within the hotel range, there's a couple of different locks. You've got just your tap MyFair lock, and then you've got another, just a different form factor MyFair lock. Guys, it's raining quite heavily over here. If you can't hear me, please just mention it in the chat box, and I'll try to speak up a bit. Okay, then in regards to boom gate solutions, so we've got an LPR, a ZKTeco LPR solution. This works with your biosecurity software. It has a LPR module. Then we've got boom gates as well for the estates, for schools, for business parks, for basically everywhere. We've got the Proface X, which is added to this this call it boom gate solution in order to create a no touch solution. And then we're very proud to say that we are launching sometime soon the UHF reader. So what this basically is, this is a very cool technology because it basically is a radio, and on your car, or you can get a UHF tag, a sticker on your windshield, and a UHF number plate. So how this basically works is, remember, these UHF readers support 6 or 10 meters. So this is a good illustration. The car will come up. If they have that, for example, that small UHF sticker, this radio will pick it up and automatically send an instruction to the boom gate in order to open the boom gate if this specific person is authorized to enter that area. Again, so that makes the traffic so much faster. It makes everything so much faster and more productive. At the end, their vision is to help you create a more productive environment and solution for your clients. Again, So there's no facial recognition, no nothing. We normally suggest to put a facial recognition device on the inside in order to obviously um, try and reduce the chance for somebody stealing a car in the inside and driving out with it. So you can add the facial recognition solution with that as well. Okay, and then for our tripods and full height turnstiles, so we've got numerous different tripods and full height turnstiles. So um, this is your tripods, and you can obviously there's different type of tripods. You have a fingerprint, you get a facial recognition one. It is very adaptable to your specific application. So you tell us what you need, and we'll make sure we'll get you that specific product in order to give you a good solution. Again, and then obviously the full height turnstiles is also there. Then a very popular division within the ZKTeco product range is the screening solution. So currently, obviously due to the entire pandemic, screening solutions was very important the last year and going forward. Okay, so what makes ZKTeco screening solutions so extraordinary is because they support palm recognition, facial recognition, and temperature detection, as well as mask detection. Okay, so what does this mean? This is a complete no-touch solution, as well as this is basically the speed face and the pro face with added functions, your mask detection and temperature detection. So if you buy this, this is a continuous solution. You're not going to buy this and put it in the cupboard after the entire pandemic. You're going to actually use it afterwards because it does support facial and palm recognition. Okay, so you're not going to waste any money. It's a good solution. It's a good value for your money. Okay, to give you a quick example in regards to that, so with our screening solutions, we have the metal slash heat detector. So this is a metal detector. So after this entire pandemic, you can just use it as a metal detector and leave out the heat detector module. We have the ProFace X-TD and the SpeedFace V5L-TD. So this is basically exactly the same. It's the ProFace and the SpeedFace, except for it's gonna show you your temperature. It's still an access control device. So the nice thing about this thing is these two terminals is if you are not wearing a mask, or if your temperature is above threshold, a threshold that you set, depending on what you feel is a high threshold. If it's above that, it will obviously not open the door for your employee. So at the end, it's going to give you good time and attendance reports. It's going to give you great access control with the facial recognition and palm recognition, as well as it's going to include the temperature and whether that specific employee wear a mask that day and that specific time. So that's what makes it so special. And after this entire pandemic, hopefully it's going to end soon. You can use these devices afterwards. Okay, so you're not throwing money out of the drain. It's a continuous using device. So just to quickly show you how that works is exactly the same as the ProFace X and SpeedFace, except for these heat tracker solutions can only be installed in a controlled environment, temperature controlled environment. The reason for this is it doesn't help you buy these devices and install it outside because the temperatures outside is just too fluctuating. You have to try to install it in an area where the temperature is relatively stable. That is quite difficult, but it is doable. They have a facial recognition speed and a temperature speed of about 0.3 seconds. They've got a measurement deviation of plus minus 0.3 degrees. They also support anti-spoofing algorithms as the ProFace X and SpeedFace. And remember, it's only for indoor applications. It does work with your normal biosecurity software, and you're going to, at the end, see live notifications, instant live notifications. So if your employee is above threshold or they're not wearing a mask, you'll get that notification immediately. Okay. Then obviously, as well, lastly, just please install it in a windless environment, away from any or far from any heat source in that specific area in order to keep the temperature as stable as possible. Okay, so now we're at the software part of the webinar. So we're going to start off with the free software, which is called the ZK Access 3.5. As I mentioned, this is the free software. This works with your standard in-bio controllers, those black controllers that we spoke about earlier, as well as your F-series access control standalone terminals. Okay, so what this does is it is an access control software. It gives you basic access control capabilities. So you're not going to have linkage, you're not going to have global anti-passback. We'll get into that in the next slide. And it is quite important to have, if you've got a big building and you need enterprise access control capabilities. And you can, with this software, you can control up to 25 to 30 terminals with one software. And then obviously it is entry level, so you don't expect all the enterprise capabilities that the biosecurity gives you. Again, as I mentioned, it does work on the F-series and the normal in-bio controllers. So let's get to the paid-for software. This is the ZKTeco biosecurity software. So this is a web-based software. It's a once-off software, basically meaning there's no monthly fees, there's no headaches, there's no recurring fees. Once you bought it, it is yours, and it's or your clients. There's no monthly fees. Okay. So what makes this so special is biosecurity is a all-in-one solution. So it has an access control module. And within the access control module, you can choose a number of how many devices you want for that specific application. So if you have a 5-door application, right, a 5-door terminal, you only buy a, let's call it a 10-door module for access control. There is 10, 20, 25, 50, 75, and 100. So depending on, once again, on your application, you take that specific module. The reason why they do this is obviously to help you save cost. The lower the module, the more cost effective the software. Okay. So then they have a hotel management software, and that works exactly the same. You've got a module, you've got a 10-door module, 20, 30, 50, 75, and so on. Then you have an elevator control, time and attendance. So this is also exactly the same. There's different modules that you can choose under the time and attendance depending on how many terminals you have. And then we have a parking management solution module, which works perfectly for that LPR system that we spoke about, as well as if you want to run a boom gate and all that. Okay, so what does biosecurity give you? It gives you stable, fast, and consistent communication. It gives you advanced access control, such as global anti-passback. So basically meaning they have to enter at door 1 and door 2 in order to get into door 3 and 4. And they have to exit door 3 and 4 in order to exit door 1 and 2. So there is a linkage between. And linkage is then if you want to allocate different, if you want to obviously open all the doors at once or control everything at once. It's a very effective feature to use if there's an emergency. And then obviously it does automatic data backup, alarms and events on email notifications. And obviously only the Pro controllers, those white controllers that we spoke about earlier, and the visible light series, the speed face and Pro face facial recognition devices, works on biosecurity. Again, you have unlimited users on this. So you've got limited devices, which you obviously choose yourself, that specific device module that you need, but there's unlimited users that you can add to the specific software. And once again, very important, it is once off. There's no monthly fees, there's no headaches, just smooth sailing from there on. Okay, and then with the time and attendance division, we've got ZKTimenet 3. So basically what this is your local time and attendance software. So you're gonna need your laptop at the site itself, and then obviously allocate this software to your laptop. And what is important is it is a paid for software. It is very cost effective. It can handle up to 50 devices and 500 employees. This is more for your smaller time and attendance solutions. And it's you're gonna have to renew it every 3 years, but because of this software being so cost effective, that's not really going to be such a big issue. And as I mentioned, if your time and attendance terminal supports a relay, this software will give you basic access control features. Basically, what that means is if this employee is authorized to go into this specific building or room, they will be able to do that. Okay, so just to give you a quick summary of what reports you can expect is you can expect employee information reports, exception reports, transactions, hour summaries, daily totals, time cards, attendance cards, early in and out reports per employee per month per week, late arrivals, flexible schedules, absent reports, and then obviously employee shifts as well. Please also remember with our time and attendance softwares, it does not integrate into a payroll software. What you can do, however, is you can take these nice reports and export it into a Excel file, for example, and then import all that information into your payroll software. And that is how easy it is. Then in regards to the BioTime 8, this is probably one of our most popular softwares within the company because it's the time and attendance and it is web-based. So as I mentioned, there's different modules to make it more cost effective for you, and it only works on certain time and attendance devices. You can add up until 100 devices. Above that, that's going to be project level. Then you just ask for project software. And then obviously it gives you advanced time and attendance features. And the nice thing is you can add mobile time and attendance app software to your main BioTime 8 software. So it is paid for, the mobile app software. So how that works is, let's say you've got a couple of sales technical guys or sales guys that do a lot of site visits at clients. Then what makes this app so useful is you can allocate that app and that specific software to your salesperson or technician, and once they arrive at the client, they can clock in, take a picture of the site, and then obviously it is linked to your GPS, so it will send you coordinates as well. And obviously once they are done there, they can clock out and take a picture, and it will send GPS locations and everything, just to make sure that your employees are doing what they should be doing and doing it in the time they should be doing it. Again, it does give you simple and basic access control features. This software as well, same as the TimeNet 3.0, except for it is web-based, and you can add the BioTime mobile app to your main software structure. It is also one-off. So once you bought it, it is yours. There's no monthly fees. There's no nothing. Again, so once again, the reports are quite similar to the TimeNet 3.0, except for this is for a web-based application. So to give you a quick example is, if you've got 3 branches, then you only want one time and attendance, one central time and attendance management software. Okay, so you've got a branch in Cape Town, Nelspruit, and in Joburg. Obviously, they've got their own terminals. They're going to clock in at each branch, and all that will be sent via the cloud to your main server, main software, and that will keep attendance of all your branches in one managed and unified platform. Within this software, you can obviously set divisions. You can obviously set Cape Town sales, marketing. Under Cape Town, you can add sales, marketing, warehouse, and so on and so forth. Under Joburg, you can add your different departments. So obviously that's going to make your time and attendance reports much easier. Okay, and that's that for BioTime 8. It's a very, very effective time and attendance software to work with. Once again, it doesn't integrate directly into a payroll system. However, you can export your reports and import it into your payroll software. Okay, so last we're going to look at why you should choose ZKTeco to be your trusted access control / time and attendance / entrance control partner. Okay, so first of all, that picture is actually the local presence. That is the experience center. You can actually take your time. You can arrange with us and you can take your client to this experience center. This is in Gauteng, and this is where all the products and solutions on display. It's a very effective sales sales way to effective way to make a sale and bring your client there, because it just gives them a better picture of what they're dealing with and what the solution is going to be. So first of all, as I mentioned, local presence. They are based in Harties, the main headquarters of ZKTeco, and basically that means is fast ETAs, reliable and reliable technical support and after-sales services, as well as pre-sale services. We've got warranties up to 2 years, wide variety of different high-quality products, as I mentioned. We've got a complete access control / time and attendance solutions. It's a very innovative brand. We've got great support, as I mentioned, from us and ZKTeco themselves. They've got great software to assist with productivity levels, and their software is highly secure in order to improve your company safety. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is the new campaign that we want to run. This will be sent out very soon. It is something super exciting within the ZKTeco / MiRO campaign that we want to run, and what we are going to run very soon. So what this campaign is, it's going to be a link. You are going to register for this link, and the benefits, just a couple of benefits that you are going to get, is you're going to get free training on buy time, buy security, and TimeNet 3.0. Sorry, I forgot the last one. TimeNet 3.0, basically giving you the knowledge to go into the market, go to your client, and give them a very good solution. Again, this is free to use. All you have to do is register on our link, which will be sent out very soon, and then you can obviously get all that free training. It was paid for in the past, but we are trying a different way, obviously, to broaden the ZKTeco market share within South Africa, and it is really going to work. And another benefit within this entire campaign is basically what you're going to get, as well as specific project assistance. So what that means is we'll get a technician, a ZKTeco technician, that will specifically help you with that project and those products and software that you're currently busy with for that specific application, and make sure that you know everything in order to give your client a effective solution, and obviously making your installation lives so much easier and so much quicker. You're most probably going to use it 3 times and never going to use it again, because then you're going to have all the knowledge, and then you're actually going to teach us about ZKTeco. So that's the entire vision around this. It is a very exciting campaign. This, as I mentioned, it will be sent out very soon, and then we are going to really explode the entire market with ZKTeco. We've got a couple of different questions here. Which system integrates with payroll? So, as I mentioned, the software itself does not integrate directly with any payroll softwares. But as I mentioned, you can export it to Excel and then take that normal generic Excel sheet and import it into any payroll system. Okay, so I'm getting another question is, can I purchase a demo equipment for POC? Proof of concept? Yes, you can. We do have a proof of concept system within MiRO. So if you do want to test something, you're more than welcome. Obviously, you're going to have to buy it first. And then if you're not happy, we'll credit you. But if you're happy, you have to keep that specific product. So yes, there is a POC concept around that. Okay, guys, that is all from my side. Just to give you, obviously, first of all, thank you so much for joining. We've got another security webinar coming up soon, which is on the 31st of March, which is the Ring webinar. Ring is your Wi-Fi connected surveillance systems, and that's just basically for your end user. It's very effective. Video doorbells, security cameras, and so on and so forth. So if you are interested, just go onto our training platform, MiRO Academy, on our website, and then register for that one as well. So we're going to obviously launch a couple of new products within the Ring range as well. So be there, and you're going to be the first to know about all the new products. Okay, guys, that is all from my side. Thank you so much for joining. I think I've got a last slide here. Thank you so much to GrandStream for the IP video talk. If you do have, this is the platform that we are actually currently using. If you are interested in something like this, the online meetings, you can use IP video talk. For more information, you can contact us at sales, MiRO at sales.0.0. Awesome. That is all from my side. Thank you so much for joining. And then if you do have any questions, please pop it into the mailbox or the chat box. I'll also include my mail as well if you want to mail me directly for a certain solution or an application or advice.